Morning everyone, and today we are exploring Holy Island. So if you want to join us on our adventures, follow along. We'll bring you back in a bit. After checking the tide times the previous day, we set off on our way across the causeway. There's a decent sized designated car park just as you're coming into the island. Plenty of space even for bigger vehicles. The sun's out and it's actually feeling quite warm, so this is promising. I'm looking forward to this. Come along for the journey. So we're heading down to Lindisfarne Castle now, so we'll bring you back in a bit. We didn't have any specific plans on what we wanted to see on the island. We were just determined to make the most of our time and see as much as we possibly could. There were a few surprises in store though, as you'll soon see. Holy Island is a rich habitat for many animals and birds. If you're interested in this aspect of the island, then paying a visit to this little visitors centre is a must. This for a canny bit of recycling. So I'm about to show you something. I think this is like the ultimate kind of recycling. So this is where you turn a boat into a shed. Here goes. For once, the weather gods were smiling on us, and we certainly had a chance to take in all the wonderful views around the coastline of Holy Island. We found this delightful little bookshop, set up by the National Trust. If you like books, then this is the space for you. I could spend hours in here personally. imagined Lindisfarne as being an industrial area. However, in the mid-19th century, lime kilns were built, and it was definitely the centre of lime production. This site is now managed by the National Trust, and there's plenty of information on the walls about how lime was produced. There are lots of well-defined paths on the island. We chose to do a circular route, which would allow us to take in as much of the island as possible. The walk is mostly flat with a decent well-defined path. It's not surfaced though, so care should be taken. And after all that walking, we'd worked up an appetite. Coming up, cheese toasties. Lindisfarne does boast a small selection of shops which sell merchandise relating to the area. A visit to the old lifeboat house is a must. A reminder to us all of how tough the role was for lifeboat crews in years gone by. The Heough, as it's pronounced, is a ridge that was formed 295 million years ago, and it forms a natural defence for the island. There's plenty of information that can be gained about this part of the island, so if you're planning a visit, I won't spoil it for you. Climbing the stairs of the Coast Guard's former lookout tower is a must. The panoramic views that you gain from getting to the top are second to none, and it's the best way of viewing the Priory. Lindisfarne is incredible, but we had one last treat in store. snook up to the snook. If you want to come along, hop on board. The Snook is a peninsula located halfway between the island and the causeway. It's part of Lindisfarne's nature reserve and is home to dunes and salt marshes alike. As you can see, the breezy conditions on the Snook provided a mesmerising experience. And as the sun began to set, we headed back to Beal for our final night. We think this is quite possibly the best campsite that we've ever stayed at. Booking was extremely straightforward, as you can see. It cost us £36 a night, and by looking at the map, we could even choose which pitch we wanted. The site also boasts a wonderful coffee shop and bothy bar. There are numerous shower cubicles, all of which are spacious, with plenty of seating, hookage and a good shower. There are decent hairdryers to use and the cleanliness is second to none. Come and stay here, you won't be disappointed. Right, so today we've headed back to Bamburgh before moving on to Kielder later on today, but we're here for a very special reason because ever since I was a little girl, I've heard this story about this girl called Grace Darling, whose father was a lighthouse keeper on the Farne Islands. And one dreadful night, her and her father rowed out in a storm and saved about 12 people. I think the ship was called the Forfeiture or something. And I heard that story in assembly when I was very small. So for me, I'm back here at Bamburgh so we can visit the Grace Darling Museum. So we'll bring you back in a bit. This wonderful little place is run by the RNLI. Entry is free, but donations are extremely welcome. The museum is dedicated to and celebrates the life of Grace Darling, but the museum is also keen to celebrate other heroic efforts by other women who've also been decorated by the RNLI over the years. It's incredible to think that a young 24-year-old woman rowed out with her father in a tiny coble to rescue people in distress. The event was unprecedented at that time, and it still stands that way today.
Very sadly, just 4 years after the rescue took place, Grace Darling passed away of tuberculosis. The church houses the remains of 110 Anglo-Saxons dating from the 7th and 8th centuries. They are housed in a modern ossuary within the crypt of St Aidan's Church. Discovered in the nearby Beal Hole Cemetery between 1998 and 2007, they are believed to be the high-status members of the Northumbrian Royal Court. The community-focused Bamborough Bones project manages these findings, which revealed a diverse, healthy population with origins spanning the British Isles, Scandinavia and the Mediterranean.
I've enjoyed that as much as we have. That was incredible. It's only a tiny museum, but it's really worth a visit. I love the idea of keeping all the things in drawers that you can pull out and save space. It's incredible. It's also incredible to think that a woman of her 27 years as she was when she died has left such a huge legacy. Yep, definitely come to Bamborough, come to the Grace Darling Museum. So much to see and learn.
And just like that, we were on the road again, heading for our next destination. Join us in the next episode as we visit Kielder, home to Europe's largest man-made lake and Northern Europe's biggest working forest. If you've liked our content, then please like and subscribe and hit that hype button.